Hello everyone, it's DV here, and today we're gonna have a look at a build I've been working on the past 2 days, which is the Ghoul Raider build. We're gonna go non-meta again because, yeah, I'm having fun doing these days. I'm a little bit tired of always going for the best gear and the best builds possible, so that's a nice change for me. We're gonna use automatic rifles, melee and heavy, so a little bit of everything for that one. We are not going to use VATS at all this time. I wanted some change, so I decided, okay, let's try a non-VATS build for good, which I never really did before. We're gonna go crippling and regular onslaught for this one. 2 loadouts as always, one for raids and one for everything else. And yeah, for this one I went on the PTS this time because I wanted to get access to the new heavy gunner and melee perks. At the time of recording, that's the only way for me to get access to that, so that's a good thing because I feel like that's probably the last big changes they're gonna go for when it comes to perks and combat, so that build should stay relevant for quite a while. Now for the loadouts, the first one as always is going to be the daily driver. For this one we're going to use pipe rifles, a baseball bat and a chainsaw. These weapons feel very Raider to me, so it feels like a good choice. And for the armor we're going to go Raider armor of course. My choice here is heavy because we still need a little bit of defenses, and yeah, Raider armor is not great, so we go for heavy on that one. For the raids loadout, my weapon of choice will be the minigun. I feel like a raider can get access to a minigun. There's plenty of miniguns everywhere on the map. To be honest, it gave me pretty decent results, so you're gonna see later on. And for armor, we have to go raider power armor, no doubt. And we're gonna make use of the new bullet storm perks for heavy guns. Gave me pretty good results, to be honest, with the minigun. It's not the best weapon you can use in raids, but yeah, I speak too much as always, so let's dive into the build. Legendary perks to start with, pretty much the standard for me being strength, endurance, agility, luck, perception and taking one for the team. For the perks, we're gonna go crippling, so on the strength we're gonna have the easy target and scatter shot, definitely mandatory if you go for crippling. Barbarian for more damage resistance. Our armor is really bad, so yeah, we're gonna need as much resistances as we can get. When it comes to melee, I went for 1 rank of Slugger. I really struggled to make a choice here. I wish I had like 25 points in strength, but yeah, that's not a thing. So I went for Slugger, Incisor, and Radioactive Strength. And also, since we are a ghoul, we can make use of Brick Wall. Problem is, we need to keep our glow high to have it working, but we're gonna find a good way to keep our glow high at all times, so it's a good one to have for melee, for sure. On the perception, tough choices, but yeah, number cruncher for sure. We're not using VATS, so IAP cost doesn't matter to us, so we're gonna aim for IAP cost in general. Dawn Ranger, rank 2. Tormentor, it's a crippling build, so definitely Tormentor is a good one to have. Tank Killer, because yeah, we're gonna use small guns, so yeah, it's hard to pass on that one. Center Masochist, rank 2, because yeah, no VATS means we're gonna need to aim at enemies, and sometimes you're just gonna go for the torso because it's easier. So yeah, it's nice to have a little bit of this one as well. Fast Fighter for better reloads, and Skeet Shooter, way better accuracy with that one. So yeah, mandatory for this build. Under Endurance, pretty much the standard for Ghoul, I would say. Life Giver, Chem Fiend. I'm gonna use Psycho Buff, that's my drug of choice. I'm not gonna use anything else most of the time, if not at all times. It's a damage buff, you know, easy to make. You're gonna find a lot of these in the world. Plus, it's not that hard either to find Buff Out and Psycho, so you can make a lot of these. Star Genes, we have mutations, it's mandatory. Glowing Gut, if you are a ghoul and you don't use this, you are absolutely crazy. This plus Toxic Goo makes the glow way easier to manage, at least. Ironclad rank 2 for more resistances. Adamantium Skeleton, yeah. Ghouls can be crippled very easily, and if you go melee, that's definitely a risk. So yeah, since I've been using that one, never crippled pretty much. So yeah, mandatory I would say. Fireproof rank 1, yeah, no more room for higher ranks of this, unfortunately, so rank 1. And Radiation Power, because yeah, why not doing more damage at the expense of glow. Low charisma on that build, so strange in numbers, that's it. Under Intelligence, I went for Pyrotechnician. I thought about using a Flamer at some point, but I chose not to at the end, but our chainsaw does fire damage, so why not? Science Monster is a good one for ghouls as well, in general. Scrapper, because I had 1 point left in Intelligence and I really like Scrapper. For Agility, I went for Modern Renegade. Don't go for Enforcer because I had to make a choice, and Modern Renegade gives us more hipfire accuracy. We're gonna need this. and still 75% leap damage. It's a crippling build, but yeah, no room for Enforcer, unfortunately. So yeah, Modern Renegade is the one we chose here. Then we're gonna have Gunslinger rank 2, 9% weak spot damage. Then the 3 perks for regular Onslaught, Adrenaline, mandatory, and Gun Tricks, 1 rank of it. A little bit of reload speed is nice. On the luck, Serendipity, always nice when you're not wearing power armor. Ricochet, pretty good as well. Class Freak is mandatory if you ask me, since you have mutations. Definitely reducing the negative effects is a good thing. I never do a single build without it. Junk Shield for more resistances. Grim Reaper Sprint, the new one. More action point regen on a kill streak. Pretty damn good. It's hard to test on the PTS because we're not gonna do events. It's a little bit hard. Didn't spend much time trying to test this one, but it's gonna be a good one. I'm pretty sure of it. Cap Collector because I had room and I feel like a raider is looking for caps. Faulty Spots when you are a ghoul, definitely a good one to have on the luck. More weak point damage. And Wild West Ends because that's one of the ghoul perks I really learned to love. I really like it when it triggers sometimes. It's pretty cool. And I had room. I could have used Bloody Mess, the new Bloody Mess, but to be real, it's pretty garbage. And I only have the baseball bat, which does bleed damage. So honestly, not a good choice. It's pretty much gonna be a shitty perk now, I feel like. Unless you really go for a full bleeding build or something like that. For the weapons now, the first weapon we're gonna use is a pipe rifle, automatic. For this one we went Furious, Hitman's, durability and stabilizers. The goal of this gun is for really close quarter combat. That's why we went for stabilizers and also Hitman's because we're gonna go ADS most of the time. It works pretty well on hipfire as well, but yeah, that felt like the proper choice. And of course Furious, we going Onslaught regular. Durability because these ones go pretty bad pretty quick and I didn't use any perks to reduce the damage done to the weapon over time. When it comes to the weapon mods, I went for automatic 45. I'm not gonna use ultrasight ammo for this build at all. I feel it's better because yeah, it's easier to craft for sure, less materials compared to ultrasight. You can also get these from the ammo converter if you want, so yeah, it felt like a good choice. We went for a stub barrel, the stabilized one, because yeah, it's a close range weapon and I wanted the fire accuracy bonus of that one, the reduction in recoil as well. Forceful stock for less recoil. Stinging magazine. Stinging is great because it gives us more ammo capacity, so I went for this one. Standard sights, to be honest, the reflex sight is absolute garbage, so I went for standard sights and not glow sights because glow sights reduces the AP cost, that's not what we want. And muzzle brake, because yeah, I wanted a reduction in recoil for that one. I don't really care for range, so I went for muzzle brake. The second pipe rifle we're gonna use is gonna be Furious Crippling Durability Bullies this time. So this one is for more tankier enemies. For the weapon mods, it's pretty much the same as for the other pipe rifle. The difference being the barrel. I went for stabilized and long this time because I wanted way more range. That's the one we're gonna use also on Scorch Beasts. And the other difference would be the muzzle. In that case, I didn't went for muzzle brake because I wanted to keep as much range as I could. So I went for the option of not having a muzzle. The third weapon we're gonna use is a melee one this time. It's the baseball bat. For this one I went mutants, heavy hitters, strength and fencers. I went for mutants because yeah, we cannot use Furious on that one. We go for regular onslaught, so that definitely doesn't work well with a regular onslaught. So mutants felt like the right choice because instigating is pretty much garbage now. So at least with this one I can get 50% more damage at all times, so that felt like the good choice. Heavy hitters, I'm gonna go for power attacks only, so definitely a good one. Strength, because yeah, we go in melee, so usually we're gonna go for strength on the third star. And I wanted to try fencers because yeah, once again, not that much choices for this one. I never tried fencers before, so having more melee damage when you have teammates nearby at least. For the weapons mod, I went Bladed Rocket because pretty good damage plus bleeding damage. And I tried also the new perks that are related to bleeding on the strength. I ended up not using them, but yeah, pretty good bleeding damage as you can see. Now for the chainsaw, we went for Onslaught and Furious, of course. Heavy hitters because yeah, if you don't know, automatic melee weapons always do power attacks. Strength, for the same reasons as for the baseball bat, I want the most out of it. And Ponders, because yeah, we're going for Onslaught, so obviously you want Pounders in there. For the mods, it's pretty much the typical stuff for chainsaws. We're gonna go dual bar. And to finish, more of a utility weapon, I go for the third zapper because, yeah, it has no ammo, it's pretty much infinite, no reload, and it works super well with medics. So yeah, I'm gonna use this weapon as a tool now for eating NPCs forever, probably, because it's really the best one for the job. And that's it for the weapons. Alright, let's look at the armor now. So we went for heavy raider armor, which is not great, but does the job. For the legendaries, I went full vanguards and full bruisers. I wanted more damage and energy resistance. Since we use that type of armor, it's not that great, so the choice was to, yeah, let's go vanguards for this one. It helps a little bit. And bruisers, yeah, we're gonna use melee a fair amount. And yeah, our choices are pretty limited when it comes to regular armor, I would say, especially as a ghoul, so the choice of bruisers seemed obvious. On the second star, I went for 2 endurance and 3 strength, so I have a good mix of more HP and more damage when using melee. And for the third star, I went for 1 armed keeper and 4 true hikers. I need the true hikers because, yeah, I'm carrying a fair amount of food and especially toxic goo. Since I'm a ghoul, I always carry around a few hundred of them, if not more. So yeah, you definitely need weight reduction for that. So definitely true hikers is a good choice. And I went for 1 piece of arms keeper because sometimes I use the arm keeper's perk on the strength. That gives us 75% weight reduction, and when you have 1 piece of arms keeper on your armor, on top of that, you reach the cap of 90% weight reduction, which is not the case here, but yeah, that's something I usually do. And yeah, for everything that is food or aid, yeah, we're gonna get 80% weight reduction. It's not that bad. Feel free to switch that arms keeper's legendary for a 5th true hikers, definitely a good thing as well. For the armor mods, we went full buttressed, that's the best one we can get. I went for biocom mesh on the chest. We're gonna use drugs, we are forced to as a non-feral ghoul. So yeah, why not make drugs last longer, right? So I went for this instead of a jetpack. On the arms, I went for weighted for more melee armor penetration. And on the legs, I went for strengthened for more limb damage resistance on top of adamantium skeleton. Because yeah, ghouls can be crippled fairly easily, and since we use melee, we're gonna go very close to enemies, and yeah, if you don't do these, you're gonna get crippled all the time. It's annoying, so that's the choice. Now for some numbers, as you can see, the damage resistance and energy resistance is not that bad. Considering we're using raider armor, it's not too bad. Let's have a look at food. For me, always the same. I'm a carnivore, so I'm gonna have all the food that I can get from my camp, the usual for me. I wouldn't say I use them all at all times, but yeah, for the sake of demonstration here, this is what you could get with carnivore. When it comes to mutations, we have a lot, for sure. Adrenal reaction, bird bones, carnivore. Eagle eyes shouldn't be there. You're gonna lose 1 point of strength. Not worth it, and not useful for this build. Egghead, grounded, herd mentality, marsupial, Scaly Skin, Speed Demon, Talons, Twisted Muscles, and Unstable Isotope, because why not? All of these have a use, so we go full mutated on that one. When it comes to special, this is what we end up with. 30 strength, good for melee, perception 30, pretty useless in a way. Endurance for HP 29, intelligence 16, definitely not a XP build. Agility 25, luck 21. Charisma, yeah. We are ghouls, so this is what we get. When it comes to apparel, I went for the shielded long johns, so pretty much raider under armor. That gives us 3 perception, 3 agility, and 1 luck. We don't really care about these, but I wanted to go full raider, so that's what I chose for this one. Alright, here we are at West Tech to test the weapons. We're gonna start with the close range pipe rifle. So as you can see, when I move, the crosshair barely changes, if not at all. So it's going to be very precise. We can go hip fire. Definitely need to be close. Can also ADS for more damage via Hitman. But yeah, if fireworks, you can see it doesn't move. Gonna make quick work out of these. You can also aim for the torso via Center Masochist. It's gonna give us fairly good results. Yeah, as you can see, they get crippled and sometimes they just kneel down like that, which is a little bit of annoying because you have to aim again at the head. But yeah, it's a crippling build, so. But yeah, you need to be very close with that weapon. Alright, now we are inside. We're gonna test that against stronger super mutants. Our adrenaline is gone. Let's have adrenaline up. As you can see, it works fairly well. It's an absolute laser. It's pretty great. So now it's also the right time to show you how I deal with glow. So basically what I do is have toxic goo on my third key. That allows me, like, I'm fighting, I press the third key and bam, my glow is stopped. Since we use glowing gut, it gives us a shitload of radiation. So usually if my glow is almost depleted, I press the key 3 times and I'm full again. And of course, this is the spot to get toxic goo. So you're just gonna kneel here and just hit collect repeatedly. I usually carry around like 500 toxic goo, so we are almost there. You're gonna need a lot of these, definitely. And definitely setting up the toxic goo on an easy, accessible key is definitely the way to go. If you play with a controller, it's definitely not the same. But yeah, if you're on PC, at least, honestly, you should go for keyboard and mouse for sure. But yeah, if you use a controller, if you're on console, yeah, definitely managing the glow is definitely harder. Alright, let's keep going. So yeah, here you can aim for anything. You can aim also for the torso. Obviously, that's gonna require more bullets. It's not the most ammo efficient build, but yeah, that's how it is. Obviously, VATS is better for that. But yeah, still works. So yeah, more than enough to deal with these. Now let's have a little bit of chainsaw action.
I'm hungry.
Working as well. Now let's have a look at the bad damage. As you can see, it works for sure. Like close to 3k on the head. So yeah, definitely any weapon will do in here. No problem. Where's the last one? Oh, here's the doggo. Alright, let's go for a Scourge Beast now. So for this one we're gonna use the Bullies pipe rifle, which is here. For this one is with the limb damage and bullies. Making a Scourge Beast land is definitely not gonna be an easy feat. Since we don't use VATS, it's gonna be difficult. So yeah, your best bet is to, you know, almost cripple the wings now. But yeah, it takes time. Of course we have Insult Bot,
Later.
Better. So yeah, you keep shooting. The range is not great because of the changes, so but we took the best range we could get with this one. So Scorch Beasts are definitely not an easy one with this build, but she should land fairly soon now, I feel like. Yeah, the wings are not fully crippled yet. So yeah, you want to get as close as you can and just hit her and let scatter shot take care of the wings. Now we should probably be good. Yeah, both wings are crippled. So yeah, it's the Scourge Beast is definitely an annoying one when you go for no VATS. But it still works. So yeah, here you can do pretty much whatever you want. You can use the bullies, rifle, or just go for the chainsaw, because why not? Don't forget to keep your glow high so you don't get staggered. And yeah, once she's on the ground, that's a different story. Alright, so here we are, the Mirror Queen. For this one, don't bother. Go for the chainsaw. Functional chainsaw, of course. You want to keep your glow fairly high during the fight. So don't forget to take some toxic goo. They are definitely more tankier than before on the PTS. But yeah, as you can see, the chainsaw does the job. So yeah, chainsaw for the win on that one. Alright, here we are for the last test at the Ogwa. Of course, for this one you can go for the chainsaw as well. As long as you keep your glow up, you shouldn't be staggered. But for demonstration purposes, I'm gonna show you the bullies pipe rifle. Can be useful if you don't want to go close and cripple a big enemy or do more damage to a fairly tanky enemy. 3-star legendary super mutant could be a candidate for this as well. So yeah, let's start to do that. So the idea obviously is to cripple the beasts as quickly as we can. We are not there yet. But yeah, that's the Ogwa. Huh? Crippling this without VATS with a pipe rifle is definitely not the most efficient way to do it, but I think it's gone now. So now we can aim for the head and take advantage of bullies. Maybe not fully crippled, but it's starting to. Obviously the chainsaw would do a better job, huh? But it's just to show the bullies pipe rifle and the damage ramping up. As you can see now, that is more than likely more and more crippled, not fully, but almost. And yeah, the damage goes up for sure. And I have no more bullets, which is sad. Now he's fully crippled, I think. Yeah, completely crippled, so we're gonna just give him a little bit of a bat and let the bleed do the rest. Yeah, you're dead, my guy. And there you have it. Alright, let's look at the raid loadout now. For this one, obviously, we're gonna make use of the Bullet Storm new mechanic. So we're gonna have bringing the big guns, Drum Corps, and Lock and Load. We're gonna also keep Barbarian here for just more damage resistance. An easy target for more damage to crippled targets. Definitely useful on the Guardian. Can be useful also on Epsilon if you target the Fusion Core, which can get crippled fairly easily. The rest of the limbs of the Epsilon is really hard to cripple, but the Fusion Core are definitely something that you can cripple. If you're not using VATS though, not gonna be very easy, so yeah. Under Perception, Number Cruncher. Dawn Ranger, this time full rank, because yeah, we're gonna shoot from far away sometimes on the Snake and also on the Guardian. I'm gonna have my back against the wall of the arena. Tormentor, more damage per cripple limb, definitely gonna be used on the Guardian for sure. Center Masochist, once again, definitely for the Guardian, but also for Epsilon. You may just shoot at the torso sometimes. Their heads are fairly small depending how far you are from them, but yeah, it's a good one to have as well. Under Endurance is pretty much the same as for the Daily Driver, Life Giver, Ironclad, Camp Fiend, Star Genes, Glowing Gut, Fireproof, and Radiation Power. On the Charisma, I added Tenderizer this time because we're gonna shoot a lot of bullets at the same target, you know. So I assume this one is still gonna give us a little bit of something. Under Intelligence, Field Surgeon for the stim packs to heal faster in case of emergency. Stabilized, we are using Power Armor and Heavy Guns, so that's mandatory. And Science Monster for more damage overall when you are getting hit, which should happen a fair amount. Under Agility, Gunslinger for more weak spot damage, full rank. Guerrilla for more damage to close enemy this time. Mostly used on Epsilon, I would say, and maybe on the Snake when he lands on the platform, if you either cripple a plate or at the end of the fight, why not? Mostly for Epsilon, this one I would say. Guerrilla Expert, Guerrilla Master, and Gunslinger Expert for the Onslaught. Underluck, Ricochet for sure, especially for the Shield of the Guardian. Class Freak, mandatory as always for me. Junk Shield for more resistances. One Gun Army to have more limb damage, mostly again for the Shield of the Guardian, but can be used on the Snake, on the plates for example. Also to cripple the Fusion Cores, as I said, for Epsilon. Curator, because yeah, I take magazines and bobbleheads sometimes when I do raids, so I always have this one. Faulty Spots for more weak point damage. And Wild West Hands, just in case, you know. We are using miniguns, so that's a 500 ammo clip, but yeah. I had the room and I decided to go for this one. For the weapons for the raid, the first one I'm gonna use is this minigun, which has Furious, Crippling and Swift. The idea for this one obviously is to target the Shield of the Guardian. When you do it solo, you just have to keep that thing in your hand and let Ricochet do the rest. But yeah, if you are in a team and have clear line of sight of the actual shield generator, you can use this one to shoot it directly. I didn't bother putting a 4-star on that one because I'm just gonna, you know, have it in my hand and wait for Ricochet to do the job. But yeah, if you want to play this live with other people, you can probably do some pinpointers, polished. I don't think bullies would be a good idea because yeah, you need some limbs to be actually crippled for bullies to do something. So yeah, probably yeah, pinpointers or polished is the way to go. The second weapon for the raid we're gonna use is another minigun. For this one, we went Furious, Hitmans, Swift and Pinpointers. Obviously, once again, if you play live with 4 people in a raid team, you can definitely go for polished. But here I tried bullies as well, and honestly, Pinpointers give me way better results when I solo the Guardian, so that's what I chose. Also, yeah, for the mods, both miniguns are accelerated with Gunnersight. I tried Prime. Accelerated give me better results. I made some quick calculations with the knowledge I have, and indeed, Accelerated is better if you have to shoot a lot of bullets at an enemy. If you use your minigun for small enemies, Prime would be more than likely better, but in that case, in the raid, we're gonna shoot a lot at the same target. So yeah, Accelerated takes over very quickly when you shoot a lot of bullets, so that's the choice. Now for the power armor we're gonna use during raids, we went for a Raider power armor, of course. For the helmet I went for internal database because that's the only choice we have really. There's nothing else really interesting, and getting a tiny bit more XP is not a bad thing. For the legendary effects we're gonna get on that one, I went for full troubleshooters because yeah, usually for raids that's what I choose to do now. Feel free to try something else, of course. If you were not a ghoul you could go for overeaters, but yeah, here troubleshooters is the choice I made. For the second star I went for endurance and a little bit of AP regen just in case, because yeah, during the drill phase I don't want to run out of AP because that can be very dangerous, so I went for a tiny bit of AP regen on that one. And obviously endurance also for more HP. For the weight reduction is going to be the exact same as for the regular armor, 4 true hikers and 1 armskeeper. And for the 4-star I went with what I had available on the PTS on my mod mule, let's say. So I went for a little bit of a mix. I have 1 tankies, I have 2 reflective and 2 AGs. It's a good mix. AGs give you more resistances, that's not bad. You have reflective for the Guardian, not bad either. And tankies because I had 1 lying around and I never tried it before, so yeah, why not, right? Feel free to go full reflective or full AGs on this, of course, if you have the mods. On the torso I went for jetpack because yeah, I couldn't find a better mod, honestly, for this build. Obviously, if you are a human, there's maybe other possibilities. If you want to play low health as well as a human, why not? Going for emergency protocols, for example, or medic pump or something like that. In our case, only the jetpack fits, to be honest. On the legs, obviously, calibrated shocks. Alright, let's look at the numbers now for the Raid's loadout. We end up with around 1000 in both damage and energy resistance, which is pretty nice. Poison resistance is definitely low, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue when you are a ghoul. The HP is close to 800, that's pretty good as well. And the AP is a little bit on the low side, but yeah, we don't use VATS, so that's not too much of an issue. But yeah, pay attention when you have to run in phase 2 and 4. Do not run out of AP and be a little bit stuck with a mole miner next to you. That can be an issue, so yeah, you're gonna need to pay attention to that one. For the food is the same as the daily loadout. I just like to take possibly a luck food that is better than the one from my camp. Here is the Scorched Beast liver. It helps with ricochet, but yeah, don't worry too much about that one. It's just a little bit of help. For the specials, we don't need really something high here except for endurance for more HP. Agility and luck are also nice to have a little bit higher, but yeah, that's what we end up with. That should be enough. Alright, now that we are done with the raid build, I'm gonna show you an example of how I managed to solo the Guardian. There are weird things happening during this fight. I have some sneak damage apparently triggering at some point, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but you're gonna see on the top left corner it happens. The other thing that happens is my health bar disappears once I'm starting to shoot the torso. Happens every time, I have no idea why. But yeah, it went pretty well. I managed to zero door the boss almost every time. Not always, but 9 times out of 10 it works. It's definitely tight timing, you know, the screen is almost black when I shoot the last bullet to kill him. But it works pretty fine. So yeah, I'm gonna leave you with that, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.
Alert! Unauthorized personnel detected. Activating defense systems.
Buttons platform active. Array offline. Initiating repair procedures.
Warning, energy usage critical. Temperatures reaching unsafe levels. Security bunker online. Take shelter immediately.